Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakak Das, double honors to the elders and apostles, great mills and rule well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters, students, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. This is not going to be very long at all. I'm going to let this play, but the basis of it is I saw two TikTok videos. This one, and then a couple of days ago, and then one I saw earlier that I can't find. Oh, it was talking about how all the first ladies were actually men. And one of the first comments, there was a pinned comment, and it said, they're going to reset us so hard. Right? If you know anything about the quote-unquote conspiracy of the reset, there's always, every so often, people, the veil is lifted, and people are waking up to the nonsense, and they do this great reset, right? Which, holds some truth, because to be honest, the world was much more advanced before than it is now, and I think people confuse convenience with progression, and it is not always the case. Right? Very rarely is it the case. This devil has put convenience at the forefront, but the lives of the people, the lives of plant and animal life, the ecosystem is everything is just polluted. Okay, everything he does, it comes, if you take one step forward, you take 8 steps back with this devil, because of his methods, his ways, right? And that is in that spirit, right? When you go to the book of Genesis, and when Esau was given his birthright. Actually, let me see, I think it's like 20, I don't remember. Dang it, me thy birthright. All right, whenever I learn how to spell birth, I should have just probably put the Jacob and Esau story. It is 25, okay. That's what I figured. Let me not second guess myself. Oh, there's 2, and then Paul alludes to this precept. I gotta look that up too, and then we're gonna let it play. Because the point of this was to show that people are waking up, that they're realizing that this so-called dream is a legitimate nightmare, a fever dream. 25. Okay, so Genesis 25 and 29. Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do unto me? Now, you see the completely different sentiments, which is here and now, microwave society, and you see that sentiment throughout the Western world. Okay, no forethought to the future, nothing, no consideration, just no appreciation for anything, just I'll use it, whatever, here, you can have it. But then turn around, he sold it fair and square, but then turn around and say that Jacob stole it, right? And that is a thing that you see as well. They attack, and they destroy societies, and then they do terrible things to the native people, or whichever land. Pick one, throw a rock. If you were on a globe, or if you were standing on a map, throw a rock, and wherever that rock lands, I'm pretty sure Esau has been there destroying the native people, and then want to play victim when the people fight back. Okay, and that spirit is there. It is too easy to be able to tell. Okay, and let me get the other precept before we get back on track. For one morsel of meat, what is that? Don't be like Esau. Damn, what is the Salaki? Give me a second. Sold his birthright. When did EA goodness. one morsel of meat. That's probably what I should have put. Boom. Hebrew 12 and 16. Let's just get it right here. All right, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. See, no forethought to the future or anything, just right here, right now. Okay, so let's go back to the original point here. And the point of this video is that those enchantments are no longer working. People are waking up. Everybody is looking at this devil sideways, even their own, right? And this dude is going to have a very valid, I can't really call it a crash out, but he was pissed. All right, this is more like a breakdown. And I think that I've even went through it. I remember as a teen thinking, like, what else is there to life? You think I'm supposed to just get up, go to work, pay bills, and then die? There's got to be more to life. I remember saying that at 14 years old. But anyway, here we go.
The thing that really bothers me about all these people, car insurance, credit card, landlords, fucking everybody, the utility company, the water company, they all speak to you as though you are voluntarily doing this, as though they are doing you a favor. I don't want to pay for any of this shit. I don't want to do any of this. I didn't ask to do any of this at all. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even have to be fucking alive. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pay my car insurance. I don't want car insurance. I don't want to give you my new driver's license. I don't want to fucking do that, but I have to for some fucking reason, because for some fucking reason, in order to be alive, you have to pay 20 different people $200. And you have to keep reciting random digits of numbers. Everything about being alive is just fucking numbers over and over again. Important number for this, important number for that. You gotta type in this password, you gotta type in this number, you gotta type in this thing, and if you get it wrong, you're gonna go to jail. Keep in mind.
Yep, and it's ambiguous on purpose. Systematically, a systematic oppression at every level. You gotta have car insurance, or you go to jail if you get into a wreck, or whatever, or you pay some exorbitant fee. You gotta have homeowners and shit. You gotta have all kind of insurance. For this place to be the land of the free, we have so many different owners. You think that you're free? Try to make any modifications to a home that you pay for. You don't even own it if you have a mortgage. That mortgage means that your home belongs to the bank. So calling yourself a homeowner doesn't even make sense. You're not even a homeowner if you paid the house off, because if you pay property tax and you don't pay those, they will come and seize that home because the land is on the home is on the land. All right, here we have more owners here than anyone else. All right, and it's funny because I remember when I was in the service, I was deployed, having a discussion with one of we were training one of the nation's folks how to weapons tactics and basically how to defend themselves, how to shoot, how to do different movements and communicate while under fire, stuff like that, whatever, what have you. And he mentioned that he says you call yourself you call America a land of the free, and I was like, well, I don't call that. I was like, there's a distinct difference, and I had to explain to him there are two Americas, okay, and we don't live in the one where it's free. People of my color, and he understood very well without ever setting foot in America, because he saw it in practice while we were there in their country. And he says you say that you're the land of the free, but you have more owners than anybody. Like, if I buy a home, I can do what I want with that home. And it was true. It was something that reigned very true to me. And now that people are seeing, and I think that'll be the title, now that people are really waking up to the bull, hey, the veil is being lifted. Not only is the truth being proclaimed, but I think that this is nothing more than a byproduct. Like, the people are getting smart. People are getting, getting hip to the matrix. They are snapping out of it. And there is nothing left for this devil to do but to come down with great wrath now. And that is why you're seeing these multiple Alcatrazes popping up. You're seeing these a bunch of money going to ICE and a bunch of money going to the federal prison system to build for infrastructure. Why is money going to prison systems and public defenders will not be getting paid until the fiscal year, October's fiscal year? You see the systematic setup, and everything you do is a systematic setup to make sure you do not pass a certain bound. And goodness gracious, the kingdom can't come soon enough, where righteousness will be held in great regard. Okay, not cunning and thievery and respecter of persons. We'll end it on Isaiah 9. Like I said, I didn't plan. I'm at the plantation. I didn't really plan on this to be very long. Where is this? I will end it here. Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and the name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Right? That is Yahweh Shai, or who the world ignorantly refers to him as Jesus. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David, upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. And that is a beautiful thing to read. That is a beautiful thing to look forward to. But great turmoil is on its way before that can happen. If anybody tells you any different, there is no light in them, right? If they speak not according to this word, there is no light in them. Shalom.